do an ad in the paper. They could do an ad online. They could make a cold call. They're prospecting, okay? Prospecting, selling, closing. Raise hand, make offer, emotion, logic. Every single industry in the world does it the same way. All right, now I know you guys paid a lot of money to be here, but I got some really bad news for you. What I'm teaching you is not anything new. What I'm teaching you is not anything extraordinary or like, you know, like under the radar ninja. It's none of that. What I'm teaching you is the exact same thing that Keller Williams does every day. What I'm teaching you is the exact same thing that Fidelity does every single day. What I'm teaching you is the exact same thing that car dealers and painters and roofers and doctors and plumbers do every single day. Who needs what I have? Raise your hand, right? Then I'm going to make you an offer. How you do that is different. Real estate agents, they visit the home. They look around the home. They say, oh, you know, the paint needs to be redone. So that's going to be, then they do comparables, and then they come up with a number. And then they say, I could sell your house for this number, and I'm going to charge you 5%. And I'm going to split it with these people, whatever the pitch is, right? I never sold a house in my life. So that's what they do. And then if it makes emotional and logical sense to the other side of the table, they do the deal. It's really just that simple, right? Next, TV ad, cold call, visit the home, emotion and logic. Who does that? Insurance agencies all across the United States and all across the world, right? They have TV ads, they have newspaper ads, they have ads online, they cold call people all day long, and they say, who wants what we're doing? Who is at least a little bit interested in what we have to offer? And if they are interested in what they have to offer, they go and they set an appointment to visit the home. Now, when they go to the home, what do? They make an offer to cover them for something, right? Like whether it's homeowners insurance or life insurance, whatever it is, they say, we can give you this amount of coverage, $50,000 for $100 a month. Now, if the person says, emotionally, that makes sense to me, and logically, that makes sense to me, what happens? They buy it, right? That's why if you look deep into the life insurance market, you'll see that term life, and I have a lot of people, friends of mine that do this, by the way. You'll see that term life is term life, but it's named so many different things, right? Why do you think term life is also called final expense? Emotion and logic. If you walk into a 65-year-old's house and you say, I want to sell you term life insurance, they're going to say, get the hell out. But if you walk into a 65-year-old's house and you say to them, do you really want, you know, the average funeral costs $10,000 and the government gives you $200, do you really want to stick your kids with that debt? I can make that debt go away for $15 a month. It's term life insurance, but it's sold a different way to produce the emotion and logic that we need to close the deal. Another example, mortgage insurance, National Agents Alliance. I think they're the biggest agent or whatever they call themselves of one company, like Farmers or something. I don't know. They're pretty big. It's mortgage protection, right? They say, okay, you're 40 years old. You have a $300,000 mortgage. If you die right now, your kids are stuck with that house. We're going to cover you for $100 a month. If you die right now, the mortgage is covered. It's term life insurance, but it's sold a different way to produce the emotion and logic needed to close the deal. But the process is always the same. See, I tell you guys this all the time, but I don't think it's getting through. The process is always the same, no matter what it is that you do. Mail, ad, cold call, appointment, emotion and logic. Who does that? Fidelity Investments, every investment firm in the world, right? I did that for years. I never did the mail and the ad thing, but cold call somebody, and I really didn't do appointments either. They do that now, but cold call somebody. Hey, I have this really good idea. I want to send you information about myself and my company and call you back with one idea in a few weeks. Qualify them, how much you have in the market right now, how much you have liquid. If the best idea in the world came across your desk right now, how much you have liquid for it. Right, what's the last 3 stocks you bought? Whatever the qualification is, you qualify them, you send them out the stuff, you call them back 3 weeks later, hey man, my broker, my analyst just slid this across my desk, sit down, grab a pen. You pitch them, you make an offer, and if the idea makes emotion and logical sense to them, they buy it. It's not that complicated, and it's not new, and it's not under the radar, and it's not special, and it's not secret. It's all done the same exact way. Every industry in the world, no matter who they are, they sell the same exact way. It doesn't matter what it is, what they're selling, who they're selling to. It doesn't matter. If you're buying an iPhone, you're raising your hand. They're making you an offer. And if it makes emotional and logical sense, you're buying it. It doesn't matter what it is. A pack of gum, right? Stupid example, but what are you doing? When you see the pack of gum, you're raising your hand. In your head, you're saying, I want a pack of gum, right? You don't buy a pack of gum because you don't want one. You buy a pack of gum because you want one. right? So you're raising your hand, you're taking the gum, you're putting it on the table, the guy's saying $1.50. Instantly, you're saying, okay, I want the gum, $1.50 is not a big deal. Boom, emotion and logic, you buy it. Every single product is sold the same exact way, no matter what it is, who's selling it, who's buying it, it doesn't matter. And if you can master the process of doing it, you could sell anything in the world, not to anybody, but you could sell anything in the world to qualified prospects of that product. Anyone who tells you they could sell anything to anybody is lying to you, because that's impossible. You have to sell products that fit the market. All right, you have to find the qualified prospects for the product or service that you're selling. So if you learn the process that I just went through, okay, raise hand, prospect, make offer, pitch, close, emotion, and logic. If you understand that process, you could sell anything to any qualified prospect of that thing in the world, no matter what. Cars, houses, boats, yachts, timeshares, doesn't matter what it is. Insurance, financials, doesn't matter. Books, whatever it is, okay? It's all the same stuff. Okay, so now the next most important thing. Also, we can see your chat box if that matters. No, that's fine. That doesn't matter because everyone can see what's written anyway, I think. Okay, so the next most important thing is tonality. Okay, how you speak is the only thing that matters. What you say doesn't matter at all. It's about 90-10, right? 90% tonality, 10% words. But here's the thing you have to understand. The reason why the words matter, especially in the beginning, is because if you are just having random conversations and you're screwing up, nobody can help you, right? Let's just say, for example, I'll just give you an example, right? Let's say this webinar was a sales presentation, okay? And instead of following a slide deck that I had or a pitch deck that I had, I was just randomly talking to you. And at some point, I lost half the audience. It would be impossible for me to go to someone and say, hey, can you figure out what I did wrong? Because it's different every time, right? But if you're following the script word for word and it's the same every time, you know where the problems are and you know why they're happening. So tonality is the most important thing when it comes to the telephone. And it's also very important in person as well. So just to demonstrate this quickly, because when we go through the pitches, which are next, those two right there, when we go through that, you're going to hear me use tonality a lot, and you have to understand what it's all about. I know we went through this a couple times already, but I just want to demonstrate it for you really quickly. And we're going to use the word hey. I know it's stupid. It sounds dumb, but I love using it because it's really easy and it's easy to demonstrate. So there's a couple ways that you could say this, right? There's a couple ways you could say any word, but there's a couple ways you could say this. You could say, hey, like that, right? Like if Lee calls me on Skype, I'm going to answer him and say, hey, what's up? What's going on, right? Okay, so that's one way you could say it. I can go up at 10:30, and this happened the other night, by the way. I could be sitting down in my office doing some work, and all of a sudden I can hear a harmonica blasting at 10:30 at night. I could walk up into my daughter's room, and she's having like a band session for some reason at 9:30 at night or 10:30 at night when she has school the next day. And I could say to her, I could say, hey, what are you doing? Right? It's different. When Lee calls, I say, hey, what's up? Right? With her, I say, hey, what are you doing? Or if somebody breaks into my house at 2 o'clock in the morning, I could say, hey, and then I'm going to shoot them. So they're not going to hear anything else. But I could say, it's different, right? The tone is different every time. This is why if you get a text message, like let's say you text message your husband and wife or wife, right? Hopefully you don't have both. But let's say you text message your husband or wife and you say, you want to go out to dinner tonight. And they're like, okay. Right, they write okay back. That could be okay, screw you. That could be okay, I'm so excited, I can't wait for you to get home. That could be okay, I don't really care what you're saying. It could mean a number of different things because you're not hearing it, so you don't know. Right? That's what tonality is. There's so many different ways you could say something. And in sales, we say things in a specific way to get a specific response. Because every single human being on the face of the planet reacts initially to everything the same. Every single human being, I'll say that again because I know that that's a little confusing, but every single human being on the planet reacts initially to everything the same way. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, go back to the 2 a.m. example. I'm laying in my bed at 2 a.m. and the window smashes, right? Every single person says, holy crap, what just happened? That's the initial response instantly, right? That's the one that we're looking for. When we use tonality, that's the response we're looking for. Now, the secondary response is different for every person. So you may hear a smash in your window at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, holy crap, what's going on? I'm running in the closet and hiding. I hear a smash at 2:30 in the morning and I say, holy crap, what's happening? They're going to kill me, shotgun, ready to rock and roll, right? So everybody has a different response, the secondary response, but the initial response is exactly the same. We know this, and we can use tonality to get those initial responses out of people. So if I call somebody and I say, hi, John, that's a question. Initially, it's a question, right? Secondary, it could mean a whole bunch of different things. But initially, the guy's saying, yeah, or no, hold on, let me get him, or no, he's not in, right? If I call the same person and I say, hi, John, that's a statement. Initially, instantly, it's a statement. So he's going to say, yeah, what's up? Or no, this is not him. Or no, he's dead, or whatever, right? So that's how you use tonality. And we use it a lot throughout every pitch that we do. And I'm going to be breaking it down for you in these next 2 pitches. And by the way, these next 2 pitches are actually 1, but we're breaking it up into 2. So just so you know. Okay, so here we go. Very simple. We're going to say, but this is after you sent the person. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is when you're sending them the lead. Okay, so I know a lot of you, like Alabama Mike was saying before, he's got 5 businesses waiting for leads or whatever. So you get a lead that comes in and you're going to send it to a company, right? This is how you call them. You say, hi, Mike, this is Kenny. Not sure if you quite remember me, but we spoke a while back and I told you that I had an idea that I was trying to put together. At that time, I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but basically it revolved around me sending you a customer for the driveway business that you're in. Okay, and then you're going to wait for them to acknowledge. You're going to say, oh yeah, I remember that. Everyone's going to say that, by the way. None of them remember you, so just understand that. But they're all going to say, oh yeah, and it's something like that, right? But they don't remember who the hell you are. Next thing you're going to say is, well, I ended up doing it, and I have a lead for you. Do you have a pen so I can give you the info? Yes, go ahead. Give them the info. Perfect. Now, assuming that this lead turns into a paying customer, would you be willing to at least, I got to move my chat. Would you be willing to at least talk about doing more business, right? Or you would be willing to at least talk about doing more business, right? Yes. Okay, great. Call you back in a few days to see how it went. Now, listen, you guys know the deal, right? We've been going through this for 2 weeks. You guys know the deal. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say this stuff, and you're going to think, oh, yeah, he's saying it's easy because somebody else is on the other line. All of you will have an opportunity if you want. Open up your microphone in a couple minutes. You can hit me with anything you want. You heard it last week. You heard it the week before, right? People will say, oh, my wife died, this, whatever. It doesn't matter what you say to me. I can get through anything that anyone ever says, okay? So we could do that in a little bit. But that's the first part of the pitch. So you have the lead, and you're going to call the person. Now, that was me reading the script, okay? Now I'm going to do it as if I'm calling somebody, so you understand how it's supposed to be said. So I'm going to call Mike, right? And I have a lead for him. Let me just read this question. Also, oh yeah, the chat box thing. That's fine. Okay, so I have a lead for Mike, so I'm going to say, Mike answers the phone. Hey, this is Mike speaking. How can I help you? And I'm going to say, hey, Mike, this is Kenny. Not sure if you quite remember me or not, but we spoke a while back, and I told you at that time that I had an idea that I was trying to put together. And at that time, I didn't even know if I could do it or not, but basically it revolved around me sending you a customer for the garage door business that you have. Okay, and like, see how I raised it a little bit at the end? I said, basically it's about me sending you a customer for the garage business that you have, right? Like a question after that. And then he's going to say, oh yeah, okay, right? And then I'm going to move on. Well, I ended up actually doing it, and I have a lead for you. So do you have a pen and paper handy so I can give you the info? Yeah, I do. Or hang on a second, let me get one, whatever, okay? Then I'm going to give him the info for the lead, the guy's name, the number, this, that, the other thing, whatever. Take all the information down. You got it all? Yeah, I got it. Okay, great. Now, assuming that this lead turns into a paying customer for you, you'd be willing to at least talk about doing future business, right? Now, notice how I said that. It's not the way it's read. So notice how I said that. I said to him, perfect. Now, assuming this lead turns into a paying customer, you'd be willing to at least talk about doing business, right? Like, I'm kind of like assuming like everybody does, but I figured I'd just ask you anyway, just to make sure, right? That's the attitude that I'm having. And this, think there's some little, oh no, there's not. There's only the one little note there at the top. Usually I leave little notes about how the tonality is supposed to be, but this one is pretty simple. So that's it, okay? And then you're gonna say, great, I'm gonna give you a call back in a few days, see how it went. You're gonna call the guy back in a couple of days, and you're gonna start with this pitch. Did that change? No, it didn't. You're gonna start with this pitch. Okay, so call him Mike again. Hey Mike, this is Kenny, just calling to see how that lead went that I sent you. That's it. Right? That's how I'm open. I'm not waiting for him to respond to me. I'm not waiting for him to, oh yeah, hey, how you doing? None of that stuff. Mike answers the phone. Hey, this is Mike speaking. How can I help you? Hey, Mike, this is Kenny. Just calling to see how that lead went that I sent you. You can let them talk for a second. Okay, and they're going to say, oh, he sucked, or oh, he's didn't buy from me, or he did buy from me, whatever, right? You're going to ask them anyway, no matter what they say to you. This is very important to do this, by the way. I don't care if Mike says, oh, it was the greatest lead in the world. They bought a driveway from me and they spent millions of dollars and I'm going back and doing his cousin's yard and everything else. I'm going to say, oh, did they end up actually buying from you? I'm going to say it no matter what. And it's very important that you get them to do that. And the reason why is because when we get down to the end of this, you guys heard me doing this last week and the week before. But when we get down to the end of this, we're going to be using this stuff against them. And when I say against them, I mean to close the deal, not really to hurt them, but to get them to buy from us. And it's so much more powerful if I could go back and I could say, well, you said yourself that they bought from you, right? So I want to make sure that I ask the question and get him to say yes to that question, right? This is not, by the way, and then I'll continue on. This is not the whole get them to say yes 5 times and they'll say yes a 6th time and they'll buy. That's bullshit. That's useless. I'm trying to get them to say, did they end up buying from you? Because I want to go back and I could say, you said yourself that the customer bought. Very important. And we did this last week. Remember when we were talking about, you said yourself it's $3,000 a job, right? So at $3,000, we did the math, right? So same thing here. If we can get them to say yes to that question, we're pretty good. Even if they said they bought, we're going to ask them anyway. Next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rank the lead in terms of quality? They're never going to say 10. So don't ever think they are. They're never going to say 10. They're probably going to say, I don't know, maybe like an 8. It took me a couple times to get in touch with him. It's a little bit nasty when I first met him. His wife was, crazy. Whatever. They're never going to give you a 10, and they're never going to give you a 1. Even if the person hangs up on them and doesn't answer, whatever, they're never going to say 1. They're never going to say 10. It's usually going to be 7, 8, whatever. Okay? So don't get freaked out about that. If the guy says 6, 7, whatever, that's fine. That's what they're going to say. The next thing, if I could send you an unlimited amount of leads just like that per month, how many could you take? Again, we went over this stuff last week about the math, right? We talked about it last week and the week before. We're going to do math with them. We're going to say, okay, well, you said you can take 10 leads a month and you can close 20% of them. That equals X amount of people, 2 people. You said that you have $3,000 on your average ticket. That's $6,000 a month. I'm using the numbers that you gave me. The price for the service is $2,000. Not that high school, but that's simple math for me, man. Right? That's what we're going to use. We're going to use that simple method they give us to close the deal. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how was the lead? Did it suck or was it great? Whatever. Okay. If I could send you an unlimited number of leads just like that per month, how many can you take? What's your average ticket per sale? This is all basic stuff, right? Ballpark figure. The reason why you want to always say ballpark or just an estimate or something like that is because this is a question that can really get off into space with them, right? So you've already built up if the lead bought, you've already built up massive rapport with them. You don't need to go on a rapport building adventure. Okay, so you don't have to go out into space at all. If you say what's your average ticket per sale and you leave it there, what they're going to say to you at this point, because you have massive credibility with them, right? What they're going to say is, hang on a second, let me look, or let me call this accountant, or let me go into my spreadsheet. You're just listen, I don't want you to do any of that stuff. Is it 1,000, 1,000,000, 10,000? And sometimes I get like sarcastic with them. I'll say, listen, what I want you to do is I want you to write 1,000, 10,000, and 100,000 on a piece of paper. I want you to spin around 3 times and throw your pencil down. Where did it hit? Right? I would say something stupid like that. Or, write 3 numbers on the wall, throw a dart. Which one did it hit? Just pick something. I don't care what it is. Right? I don't need it down to the penny. I just need a number. Okay? That's why I always say just a ballpark figure, just an estimate. Just guess. Okay? Next, And I think that you'd agree, this is very important as well. I think that you'd agree that getting quality leads, however they come in, is vital to growing your business, right? What does this question do? You guys should know this from 2 weeks ago. What does this question do? This question rebuts the objection of, I tried this before and it didn't work. Because what are we going to say to them? Okay, yeah, I agree, man. You probably tried it a whole bunch of times. A lot of people out there that are doing, similar stuff that I'm doing. They're doing SEO and video stuff or whatever. Before I let you go, what kind of car are you driving? I'm driving a, Toyota Camry. And you're probably, what are you, about 50 years old, 40 years old? Yeah, I'm about 50, 52. So I can assume that the Camry's not the first car you had, right? No, it's not. What was the first car you had? Well, I had a Dodge Dart in 1976. Okay, great. Well, how come you're not driving the Dart anymore? What happened to it? Well, it broke down and I had a lot of problems with it. Was that a positive or negative experience? It was a negative experience. It broke down in the middle of the road. Okay, so obviously you agree that you need to drive a car back and forth to work, right? In order to make money? Yeah, I do. Okay, so you agree that it's vital to your success that you have a car. And even though you had a bad experience with the previous one, it didn't prevent you from buying a new one, right? I'm asking you to apply the same logic here. If we can do that, we're going to close the deal. This sets that up. Okay, this is called, by the way, I didn't mention this at all, but this is called planting seeds. We're planting little seeds to get a reaction out of them. Remember, the initial reaction is the same for everybody. We're planting the seeds to get an initial reaction out of people so that we could stack them up and tip them over later on. Very, very common thing that's used in sales, and it's very simple to do if you know how to do it. Okay, so we can agree that getting quality leads coming into your business is vital to grow your business, or whatever the hell it says there. Okay, so you're going to ask that question, and then you're going to say, okay, don't bitch out on this one. Please, this last line, this is where people get freaked out. This is where they get scared. You have to say this strong. All right, so, okay, so what we'll do is this. Not if you're willing, if you're ready. What we'll do is this. I'm going to start sending you more leads tomorrow. The average will be around 10 per month, whatever he says that he could take, right? That's the number that's why it says whatever in there. The average will be about 10 per month. Now, you said you could handle up to 10, right? Okay, so you shouldn't have a problem handling the 10 that I send you, and we'll start doing that tomorrow. Now, it's likely that we're going to send more than you can handle. If that happens, just send them off to somebody else or call them back when you have time. Again, strong line at the end here, so don't freak out about it. You got to say it strong. Now, the price of the service is $2,000 a month, and the leads only go to you. We use PayPal as our processor. What's the best email address to send the invoice to? Do not go into the PayPal protection garbage when you say to use PayPal for a processor. I've had people do this, and they get to that line where they say we use PayPal, and they start going off into space and saying, we use PayPal as a processor because, PayPal always protects the bot. That's fine as a rebuttal to an objection. But don't bring crap up that didn't come up yet. Don't do that. We use PayPal as our processor. Whatever. Great. What's the best email address to send the invoice to? All right. Don't ask them to buy it. Don't ask them what credit card number he has. What's the best email address to send the invoice to? Okay, get the email address, send the invoice, and then stay on the phone with them and walk them through filling out the invoice. Just that simple, guys. It's really not that difficult, and that's it. Okay, so that's how you close the deal. One of the ways. All right, so now we'll take some questions. But you guys got to ask them. So go ahead. Still there, Lee? Lee's traveling today, guys, just so you know, so he's gonna be cutting in and out. I don't know if he's still around. But if you guys have questions,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, but we got you.
All right. Yeah, it's not gonna work, so I'll just leave it to you.
Okay. All right, guys. If you have any questions, type them in. Dave, can you go over some common objections and rebuttals? Sure. If you want to come on, then you can hit me with whatever objection you have, and I will gladly overcome it for you. if you would like to do that. That would be the easiest way for me to handle the objections for you.
Okay,
Oh, wow. Did you just unmute yourself?
I did.
Nice. Lee, you did not set this up correctly because that's not supposed to happen.
Oh.
No, that's good though. I like it. In here, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, anything that you want to come at me with, whether it's a qualification thing or it's a sales thing, it doesn't really matter. So what are some of the common objections that you're thinking that you might hear?
Okay, well, I'm still new. I'm almost at the stage of getting the calls. I've just been studying all your stuff. I got to check with my partner. Can I get back to you later?
Just hang on 1 second for me. I'm just trying to get back to the screen there. Okay, so what was it? What was it? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I need to check with my partner. Is it okay if I get back to you later?
Sure, that's not a problem. How long are you going to take to talk to your partner? Like, when can you get a hold of him?
I could probably get a hold of him tomorrow morning.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you this. Do you understand exactly what it is that we do? Just so that when you talk to your partner, you get it.
I believe so. You're going to send us some leads every month.
Right, but what I'm saying is, do you understand exactly the process that we do to get you the leads?
What do you mean by exactly?
Like how we actually bring the people into you. Do you understand how we actually do it?
Well, no, you never really went over that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You own a garage door business, right?
Correct.
I have no idea how to install a garage door. If I was to explain how a garage door is installed to my wife, she wouldn't know what the hell I was talking about. So here's what I would propose to you. Why don't you get your partner on the phone now and let me explain to him how we get the leads so that you don't give him the information secondhand, because God forbid he gets the wrong information. You wouldn't want that to happen.
Okay, well, he's not around right now. Would
Okay.
tomorrow work?
Yeah, tomorrow would work. That's fine. Did you ask him before when you got the free lead?
Ask him what?
If you could get the free lead, did you ask him that or no?
Oh yeah, we talked and we agree we can use some more business.
Okay, so you agreed before that you can use some more business. And was he happy with the whatever sale that you made from the lead that we had?
Yes, he was.
Okay, is there any reason to believe that if he made more sales like that, he wouldn't be happy?
No.
Okay, so then what's holding you back?
Well, he is my partner, and I want to make sure that he's involved and totally in with this 100%.
Right, how much did you sell the garage door for?
A couple grand.
So what's a couple? 3, 5, 10, what is it?
3.
Okay, so I'm asking you for 2 back. It's money you didn't have anyway. If you don't, if your partner doesn't like it, you can call me back and we'll work something out. But he loved the first one. You said it yourself. And he wants more business. You said it yourself. I'm not asking you to take money out of your pocket. I'm asking you to give me a little bit that I just made you.
That's good. That's really good.
What else?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Because that's a very powerful close, by the way. If you can do that, if you could say to somebody, listen, I'm not asking you to take money out of your own pocket. I'm asking you to give me back a little bit that I just made you. Really powerful.
What are some of the more difficult ones that you run up against?
Honestly, there are none.
Well, for you.
Well, I'm saying I get objections all the time, but they're not difficult to overcome because I prospect effectively. See, that's the thing that people don't understand. It's not about this stage is not where the objections come. The stage where the objections come is, hi, is the owner available? Who the hell are you? That's where the objections come in. By this point, this guy, what you have to understand is that this guy, I prospected him. I sent him information. I sent him a lead. The lead bought from him for $3 grand, and I'm asking him for 2 to send him 20 a month. There's just no objection to that.
I got you. They've already been qualified, moved through the process.
Listen, yeah, a lot of people are worried about objections, and I totally get that, and they do come up. The problem is that the reason why they come up more often than they should is because you don't prospect effectively. I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying salespeople in general. They don't prospect effectively. If you prospect effectively, then the objection should be weeded out along the way.
I got you.
Now the one that you said is a valid one. That would come up, right? Like I got to talk to my partner, or whatever. But that you can overcome it pretty easily by saying what I just said.
Yeah, at this stage, I don't know what else to object to, because if I didn't want to talk to you, I wouldn't be on the call. And if you didn't give me the lead, I wouldn't be on the call.
Right. So let me ask you this: what business are you in now? And I'm asking you like seriously now. I'm not just role playing. What business are you in right now?
Personally,
Yeah.
no, actually, I'm semi-retired.
Okay. So what are you trying to start? Let me ask you that. Are you trying to do some sort of consulting thing like this? Or were you trying to start something else, or what is it that you're trying to do?
No, I'm in. I'm actually working with Modeep,
Okay.
and we're getting all our stuff together.
Okay.
We're going to be making calls here soon. In the meantime, I've been going through all your training. You know, got the validation script and the threat emails and all that good stuff. I'm just new to sales.
Okay. So you're trying to sell one of those sites.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So now I'm going to lie to you a little bit here, but I just want to demonstrate what we're going through. Okay. So you're trying to sell those sites. Now, let's say that those sites cost you $500 a piece to build. Okay. And I called you up right now and I said, Dave, I have a guy named Joe. He's an attorney. One of your sites is attorney based. The guy's in Dallas. One of your sites is in Dallas. And he wants to buy one of the sites for $2,000. You call up Dave, you call up the guy Joe, and Joe buys the site for $2,000. You made $1,500. If I call you back the next day and I say, I know the guy bought the site from you. I know you made $1,500. Now I want 1,000 of that 1,500. I'm going to send you 20 Joes every single month. What is the problem that you have with that deal?
I've already sold the site.
No, I know, but I'm saying though, if I could send you the 20 other people that would buy sites from you every single month.
Oh, gotcha.
That are just like Joe in other industries or whatever.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I'm going to
Okay.
charge you 1,000 and you make 1,500 a site. Where's the problem?
I don't know.
Because there is none.
Correct.
Right. I'm trying to illustrate it for you guys so you understand that if you do this correctly, you know, calling these people and saying, "Hey, I just made you $3,000." It's not a very hard call. It's a great call to make. It's like when I was in the stock business, I'd call someone up and I would say, "Stock went up 3 points." That's an easy call to make. When it went down 10 and you didn't notify them, that's a hard one. But the 3-point one was easy. And that's another trade in and out, boom, and I make 5% commission, whatever it is. You do that easy, you do that all day long. You're making the money before you call them. And if you call the guy up and he's like, "No, the lead sucked, they didn't buy," okay, fine, whatever. There's 20 other plumbers in the area. Doesn't matter. One of them's going to buy.
I got you. I got you. The objections come earlier, and at this point they're already qualified.
Right.
And you've already made them money.
Mm-hmm. What is he going to say? I don't have the money.
Exactly.
You want to learn how to overcome that if he does say that.
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead and say that.
The
price of the services. I'll read the line to you. Now the price of the service is $2,000 a month, and the leads only go to you. We use PayPal as our processor. What's the best email address to send the invoice?
I kind of thought about it. We really don't have the money to spend on it right now.
Dave, can you just do me one favor?
Sure.
If that's okay, before I let you go.
Okay.
You tell me that you don't trust me, that you don't like the service that I'm providing. You may hate the person you just sold to, but you just told me you charged $3,500 for the garage door that you sold them, and my service is $2,000 a month. I respect you a lot. We don't know each other that much, but please don't lie to me and tell me you don't have the money. That's it.
Okay.
Listen, that's the way it is. You could say you don't want to work with me. You could say that you hate my attitude. You could say that you don't like the leads. You could say that you don't trust me, whatever it is, but don't lie to me. I know you have the money. You just told me you sold the $3,500 garage door.
I got you. The issue.
You know how ridiculous that sounds? That's why we're asking those questions up front. It's very important you ask those questions. That's why. You're gathering intelligence so you can use it later on in the call.
No, I got you. It cannot be the money. It has to be more of a trust issue or something else.
And it's not going to be a trust issue because I just put $3,500 in your pocket.
Exactly.
How can you not trust me? And I did that one for free. I didn't even charge you for it.
That's true.
Now thinking back on it, Dave, what I should have done was I should have gave you the free lead under the condition that I get half of the money you made if it closed. See, I'm an idiot. I didn't do that. So you should take advantage of it. I'm not asking for half. I'm asking for more than half now, but you already closed the deal. And I'm going to send you 20 for the 2,000. There's absolutely no reason why they should say no to you. If that deal closes, there is no reason why.
No, I agree. I don't know what else. I can't think of anything else to object to.
You can't, because
No.
there is nothing else. And that's why, you know, like I said, if you prospect effectively, they should. I told you guys right in the beginning, the problem is cold to warm. It's not closing deals. Closing deals happens naturally. If you can go from cold to warm and you do it effectively, these deals, every deal, it closes by itself. The problems happen early on. They don't happen now. If they're happening now, you didn't prospect the right way.
I got
That's
you.
the way it works.
I got you. Thank you, Kenny.
Okay, man. All right, so who else? I was just going to tell you guys something else, and I totally forgot what it was. All right, if anyone else wants to talk, just unmute yourself and start talking, because I guess you can do that now. It's kind of cool. I don't have to stand here and watch the screen anymore. But I was just going to say something else, and I totally forgot. It was something about prospecting, but I forgot what it was. Let me see if I can get this chat box up again and see if... You make it seem very clear. Just a matter of getting the process in our minds. Practice, practice. What was the thing you said to say to get back on track if things get? Oh, Mike, yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, listen. There's one thing, and Mitch, yes, you can come on in 1 second. You can come on now. Let me just finish what I'm saying here, and then we'll talk. There's one thing that Mike points out that's kind of important, right? And I want to stress this, so I want you guys to understand this. I understand completely that what I do makes it seem like it's really, really simple. And I also understand, and I truly believe that it is really, really simple. But what you guys have to understand, and I get this, I've been on the phone for 23 years, every day, okay? So there's literally, when I say there's nothing I can't overcome, and I let you guys, there's nobody else that does this, right? I let you guys come on and say whatever you want. My freaking dog just died at my feet. What can I do? I can't buy right now. I can get over anything that you say. But the only reason why I can do that is because I've been on the phone for 23, whatever it is, years. You guys are not going to be at that level right away. Is it easy? Yes. Are you going to be able to do the stuff and pull the crap off that I do in the first day? No. It takes a long time to get to that level. But can you close deals right away? If you follow the process, yes, you definitely can. But you have to prospect the right way, you have to warm up the right way, and then you have to close the right way. If you do those three things, and we went through that, right? Raise the hand, make the offer, emotion, logic. If you do those things, there's no reason why they should say no to you. And the words too, by the way, Mike, that you say when somebody gets out into space, I'll do that in a second. I just want to open up Mitch. And I'm actually going to have Mitch play along with me for a little bit and do some of that. So Mitch, you're on. If you can hear me and you could talk, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hi, it's Mitch here. Just calling from Australia here. Okay, so my question is, what if your prospect that you sent your first lead to for free end up not converting that into sales at all, and it turned out to be really really bad lead or whatever, and they really hated it? What would you say after that?
So first, let me ask you this so I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
What industry, or actually make up an industry if you don't want to say what you're actually doing.
Oh, a roofing industry.
You're doing roofers. Okay, and what area are you in?
Well, in Sydney area.
Okay, and how many do you think, like, after speaking to the roofers that you spoke to, I'm assuming you spoke to some, right?
Yeah.
Okay, after speaking to the roofers that you spoke to, what do you think their average closing ratio is on the leads that they get? Is it like 1 in 10, 2? Because I have no idea, to be honest with you.
I suppose the typical roofers could close 1 in 4 or something, maybe 25% or something.
So it would be about, well, 25% is hard because that would be half a lead. So it would be maybe 2 leads out of 10.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the solution to your problem, the answer to your question, send 10 leads to send roofers to different roofers, and you'll have 2 of them that bought. 1 of them will close.
Right. Right. Okay.
That's it. Because most of them aren't going to buy. We know that it's sales. So most of them aren't. You can't do this and send 1 lead to 1 roofer and say, oh, it doesn't work. And I'm not saying you're going to do that. I'm just saying most of the leads that you send are not going to work out.
Yeah.
Those are just the numbers. So you have to, that's why I say to you guys, go into a city, prospect like crazy, get 40 or 50 businesses, say, yes, I'll take a lead, send them all out like crazy. And some of them are going to buy from you. And then the 5 or 6 that do end up purchasing, one of them is going to buy. They're going to buy your monthly package.
Okay. So Kenny, what you're basically saying here is that, say you just send free leads to 10 companies, right? In Sydney area. And say only 2 of those leads turn out to be a great customers for them.
Right.
In that case, you just keep continuing saying whatever the pitch that you just gave us all the way to the end. But if those who, think that your leads that you sent to will turn out to be really bad, you just don't have to continue your pitch. Is that right?
Okay, so just so I understand, I got to the second line where I said, did they buy from you? And they say, no, the lead was terrible.
Yeah, then you just sort of, okay, that's fine. You move on from there, or just...
No, you're asking me what I would do from that point, right? The other person said, no, the lead didn't buy, he was terrible. Then how do I respond to that? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Okay, so I call the person, I say, did the lead end up buying? And you go ahead. Did the lead end up buying, Mitch, or no?
Oh, no, they didn't pick up my call, and they just called several times and didn't ever reply to my email, whatever. So yeah, that really sucked.
I got to be honest with you, Mitch, that's pretty impressive because you said you called several times and you sent them an email. And most of the roofers that I know, they call once and they give up. So that's a big deal. So let me ask you this. Out of 10 leads that you get, how many do you usually close?
I would say probably 3 or 4.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. If you close 3 or 4 out of the 10, if I was able to send you, say, 3 more leads, that would be 4. So you would think that you'd close at least 1 of those, right?
Correct.
Now, if I was willing to do that, would you be willing to at least listen to an idea where I could provide you with leads on a month-to-month basis for your company? Assuming that one of them closes at the rate that you just said, 20 to 20% or 30%, whatever you said.
Yeah. Well, it could be better sometimes, So yeah.
Okay. I'm not asking you to commit to it. I'm just asking, would you listen to the idea if that were to come true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So what I'll do is I'll work something out and I'll bring in 4 or 5 more leads to your company. And if you close at the rate that you say, we're going to be in business forever for a long time.
Yeah, sounds good.
So that's it. Now what I did was I just turned that guy from most people would consider a pissed off lead into someone who's now even more qualified than anyone else.
Right.
Okay, now it's your decision. If you want to take that guy and just say, oh, sucks, didn't buy, whatever, see you later, right? You could do that because you have 25 other roofers that you sent leads to. That's fine. But, I'm going to take the business as much as I could. I'm going to take as much as I can. So I'm going to try to make that guy into a more qualified lead by saying what I just said. And I'm going to send him 3 or 4 more leads. And if he closes at 35% and he gets 2 deals out of that or a deal and a half or whatever the numbers work out to be, the guy's going to end up being a customer.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, okay. Cool. I got it. Thank you.
Anything else?
Okay. I guess my next question is, this is not about the pitch that you're going through today, but it's about prospecting part of the pitch.
That's fine.
Basically, what I found out is that because I'm just getting all the leads through Fiverr, just asking one of those guys just to compile all the business details and all that. So I started to call them, and it's turned out that many of those businesses are out of kind of area that I'm sort of building my site for. So some say, oh, okay, you're talking about Sydney area. Oh, I don't really serve that kind of area. Is it? I'm a little bit outside of Sydney. I don't really want to, travel all the way down there. So I don't really want leads coming from there type of thing. So I ended up doing is that I just asked him right off the bat, hey, look, you're a roofer, right? And do you actually serve in that area? And if they say yes, then I'll start getting into the pitch. Would that be all right?
No.
Oh, okay.
You can do it that way. You can do it that way. That's fine. But I want you to imagine this, and I want to bring it back to something that everybody knows, right? Everyone in this room has bought a car before. Everyone listening to this, right? So let's say I walk into a car dealership. It's got to be a Jeep dealership because that's the only car dealership worth walking into. So I walk into a Jeep dealership and I'm like, hey man, I love that new Wrangler that you got there, the Rubicon outside. But you know what? I really wanted a black one. What does that guy say to me?
Wow.
What does he say?
Sorry, it was just breaking out. Sorry, I couldn't hear that last part.
Okay, so I said I walk into a Jeep dealership and I say to the salesperson, I say, man, I love that Rubicon you have outside, but I really wanted a black one. What does he say?
Well, I have black one actually.
No, close. What he says is,
Yeah.
so what you're telling me, sir, or Joe, if you know the guy's name, whatever. So what you're telling me is, if I can get you that Rubicon that you love outside in black right now, you'd take it home. That's what he said. Okay. So what you're saying to the guy, throw the objection out at me, whatever he says, right? I'm in Sydney or you're too far, whatever it is, just say it, whatever he says.
Mm-hmm.
No, I want you to say it to me. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's just too far, I wouldn't be bothered just serving those customers down there anyway. So.
Totally get it, man, especially with the gas prices and all that stuff. I don't want you traveling outside your area. So basically what you're telling me, Mitch, is this. If I had a website that was generating leads in the area that you served, you'd be interested in doing a deal right now. Is that right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay,
That'll be
perfect.
great.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one started, generate some leads. I'm going to send you a couple of them so that you can close some deals. And then once you do close those deals, we'll talk further business. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, good. Bye.
Okay.
That's it. Now, listen, whether you want to say, screw it, I don't want to work with those people. I only want to work with the people in the city. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm just teaching you other ways to pick up more leads.
Right. Okay.
So you could flip it around and you could say, listen, if I had something in that area, would you be willing to do it? If they say yes, they say yes. And if you want to build it, you build it. If you don't, you don't. But that's just another way to do it. Okay. And by the way, what I just said can be used on anything. It doesn't have to be just where Mitch mentioned it. It could be used on anything. So if I get down to this script here and I say, now the price of the service is $2,000 a month and the leads only go to you. We use PayPal for our processor. What's the best email to send the invoice to? And the guy says to me, listen, I'm a plumber. I charge $500 every time I go to somebody's house. $2,000 is just too much money for me. I was expecting to pay $1,500. That's what I pay now for leads. What do I say to him? So basically what you're telling me, Joe, is that if I could do this exact service that I just explained for $1,500 a month, you would do the deal right now. Is that right? Yes. If I can do it, you would do it. Very common close. It works very well. I sold every car that I sold ever in my life was use that close. So it's easy, and you can use it on anything. You take the objection that they give you, you bring it right back into the equation, you just turn it around on them, and you close on it.
So basically, it really depends on what your customer wants or what your prospect wants, really. I mean, you have to be really flexible, whether it's a price thing or what they want or the areas, whatever. So
the easiest way to close a deal is to find people that have a want, need, or desire for what it is you're offering. They have the ability to say yes or no right now, and they have the money to pay for it. If they want it, they can say yes or no right now, and they have the money. The deal's pretty much closed. I only focus on qualified prospects. So the people that I call, I know they want it. I know they could say yes or no right now, and I know they have the money. That's why I can close almost everyone I talk to, because there's no objection. We just went over that. There's nothing they could say, right? So it's not about being flexible. It's about picking the right people to talk to. Now you should be a little flexible, especially in this type of business, because you can mess around with the price a lot, but you also don't want to be the type of guy who's like, it's $2,000 a month or whatever, and the guy's like, I can only afford $200. You're like, sold. You don't want to be that guy, But if he's like, listen, right now I'm paying $1,750 a month for my SEO, and with this I can cancel that. So if you could do the deal at $1,750, that's a different story. And
Yeah.
when it comes to the areas and stuff, it all depends on what you want to do. Like if you want to be flexible with that, you can. If you don't want to be, then you could say, okay, then one of the good ways to turn it around on them is say, let me ask you this. Do you know anyone in Sydney that would be interested in something like this? Or if you want to go a little bit stronger, you could say to them, who is someone you know in Sydney that would be interested in something like this?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's really however you want to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So I've got a couple more questions if it's okay. So
You got a couple more questions you said, or you?
hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You got a couple more questions you said?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. You know, Kenny, you said that we shouldn't be contacting with people who are ranking on the first page of Google, but
Right.
because I just didn't know that some of those lead, the prospect that I got of my outsourcer ranking on the first page, so I just ended up calling some of those, and in fact, they tend to be sort of responding very positively to what I'm offering. Because I think they already know that what they're dealing with, and they're just actively promoting their business a lot more. So they
Right.
know exactly what I'm talking about right away, and they end up saying, "Yeah, I mean, I'm already getting quite a few leads off my side, but why not? I can handle more," type of thing. So probably I can just start calling, those businesses on the first page of Google. What do you reckon?
You could, but here's the problem. If you're going to actually rank a site and rent it to somebody that already is ranking for that keyword, you're going to have a problem.
They wouldn't know that belongs to you. Yeah, that site belongs to you, right? So.
No, they wouldn't know it belongs to you, but think about this, right? If it's roofing in Sydney, Australia, okay, and I am ranking #1 for roofing in Sydney, Australia, and you call me and you could say, hey, I can rank a website for roofing in Sydney, Australia, and I'm going to send you the leads for it. I'm like, dude, I already have the first page. Like, I don't need you. I'm already there.
But I know, but you can actually add some more, fresh leads to what they're already getting, right?
Of course you can with pay-per-call and all this other stuff. Sure, if you want to go that route, you can. Totally.
Okay.
There's no problem with doing that at all. When I said don't target the people on the first page, I was specifically talking about if you're going to build a website and rank it for a keyword, don't call the people that are #1 on that for that keyword.
Right. Okay.
Because they're not going to need your service. You want to call people on #1 for another keyword, that's fine, but don't call it for that specific one.
Okay. Cool. All right, but I can do it because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do here is just send them leads or sell them leads. So it doesn't really matter those leads those leads are coming from, right?
Doesn't matter where they're coming from.
Yeah.
As long as they're coming
as
in.
long as they get more leads than what they're getting right now, and if you charge on that would be fine. So right.
Yep, that's all that matters.
Okay, cool. My last question is, this is what I'm kind of thinking, or just have experience. When I called from my landline to another state, they obviously see on their mobile phone or cell phone, you call it, that I'm kind of calling from another state, right? So they just feel a little bit kind of, okay, you're calling, somewhere else, not the local guy. So maybe they get a bit of a sort of negative feeling towards it. Whereas if I call off my cell phone, then they can't really tell where I'm calling from, but they can tell definitely this is within Australia, right? So that might be a little bit better for them. I'm not too sure.
Well, you could do one of two things. I deal with this all the time. You can either get a specific number for each individual area that you're going to call if you want to, and you can call them.
Okay.
That's a little bit of a nightmare. Or you can joke about it. I usually joke about it. So it's up to you on how you want to go about it.
Yeah.
Right. So you can call.
Cool.
Like, if I call someone in Texas and they're like, oh, you're from New York, and I'm like, yeah, thank God the Civil War's over because we beat the crap out of you, and then I just go right into the pitch. That's it. Like you get like something like that, right? You don't be a jerk about it, but just like something that's kind of lighthearted or whatever, and also don't explain it for 25 minutes. Just something that's really quick and easy and whatever. You know, sometimes I'll say like, hey, it's the 21st century. We don't need to use horses anymore. I can call from a different state. And score.
Yeah. Okay. That's about it. Thanks, Kenny.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so whoever wants to come on next, you guys can, or if you're done, then we're done. Oh, I want to answer that question. I forgot because I was going to have Mitch give an example, but I forgot to ask him. Okay, so here's the thing. What was the thing you said to stay on track? Okay, so here's how you do it. Somebody says to you, somebody says to me, oh, you're from Long Island. My aunt's from Long Island. She lives in Port Jeff, and she takes the ferry to across the Bridgeport, and she goes to Bass Pro Shops, and she watches the Sound Tigers play, and Long Island's beautiful, and the North Shore is amazing, and the Long Island Sound is so great. I'm going to say to them, yeah, Port Jeff's a beautiful area. By the way, if I could send you an unlimited number of leads per month, just like the one I sent you, how many could you take? Okay, so the 3 words are by the way, but it's very important. That person says, oh, my aunt's from Long Island. She's from East Hampton, and she likes this and that, and the wineries and everything else. I don't just say, yeah, whatever, by the way. You don't do it that way. You acknowledge what they said, give them a little piece of it, then say, by the way, and get back on the script. Okay, so we don't want to get off on the conversation about the Long Island Sound. We just want to acknowledge, oh, yeah, it's a nice area. By the way, right back on it, right? You don't build rapport by talking about people's random crap. You build rapport by talking about what the business is at hand. Okay, so we talked about the niche I was going for, and you said I need to focus on out-of-state clients, maybe from places that getting clients from. How do you think I could find lead gathering from those states? Okay, so the easiest way to do it, Mike, is just to ask them. That's what I would do. I would say, listen, out of the people that are coming to your place now and using what you guys do, where are they coming from? And just like the top 3 places, like you see a lot of people coming from Florida, you see a lot of people coming from New York, you see a lot of people coming from here in Texas, like whatever, right? Wherever it is, where do you see those people usually coming from? And they're going to tell you, right? You want to try to develop a profile of that person. And I'm going to say something really like not politically correct here, but it's true, and it's what I do for a living, and it's what all you guys do for a living as well. Once you get that profile of that person, you want to become amazingly crazy prejudiced and profile those people like crazy. This is not about like being a CNN anchor. We're not here to try to like get on, HuffPo or whatever. We're business people. So we're going to be prejudiced, and we're going to profile every single person that we come across, because that's our job and that's how we make money. We have to make sure, listen, okay, if my niche, this business that I'm working in, Mike, this is for you. If this company is that I'm working in, if most of their customers make over $250,000 a year, or between the ages of 34 to 45, and they're white males, I am looking for those people. Don't go to freaking Detroit to get those people, right? Go to the areas where those people are. All right, you have to profile where the target is going to come from. It's not about being fair, it's about not being a moron. Okay, I hope I made that clear. I have a whole video. It's like an hour long on how to, I think it's called like how to be prejudiced or something like that. And it talks about that. Because people say that all the time. Like, oh, I want to be fair, I want to serve everyone. I'm like, dude, okay, then you're an idiot. Because you can't do that. You can't. If you're a country music store and you open up in Harlem, then you're just a moron. That doesn't happen. And if you're a hip hop store and you open up in some freaking town that still has horses and buggies and everything, then you're also a moron. You have to target the audience that you're going after, and you have to be laser focused on those people. It's not about liking or not liking someone. It's about doing business the right way. All right. All right. Anyone else want to say anything? Raymond, you're in here twice. That's weird. Cindy, Mike, Dave, whoever else. If any of you guys want to say anything, you can unmute your mic. I think this is kind of clear, though. It's not. I'll be happy to take your questions if you have any objections that you can't overcome, whatever. I mean, I'll be happy to take all that stuff. But I think, I think it's kind of clear, and I don't think it's really that confusing. I think it's very basic stuff. Mitch has one more to ask, so we'll go ahead, Mitch.
Okay, back here again. This is not a question about the pitches or anything like that, but it's more of the nitty-gritty part of this providing part. I think I asked you a few questions via email, but okay. So let's say I've got enough yeses over here, and now I'm just going out and start creating a website, whether done by myself or by the outsource or whatever, right? Then obviously, I don't really want to take the path of SEO. I mean, I want to work on SEO in the long run, but it's not a short-term result. So I want to just go out there and, like you said, maybe Facebook ads, whatever, click all type of thing. I can set it up probably today or whatever, because I actually do have a couple of niches that I can work on right now. So I'm gonna do it this afternoon. But then probably, like you said, within half day or something, that you can start sending some leads to those people. But when you get to that situation, what do you exactly do? I mean, do you actually start, like you said, should I just start receiving all the calls and take a note and pass it all the information to the leads, or the prospects, or should I just call forward it to them, then just call them a few days later, or or maybe I should focusing on getting some, leads information via email so that I can pass the email itself.
There's two ways to do it.
Okay.
Right. There's two ways to do it. The first way is the way that when I work with people one-on-one, this is how I start them off, because I think it helps them learn a lot more about the process and the business itself. So, and the client as well, and who they're dealing with. So what I have them do is I have them call up people in the industry. So like, let's say they're doing driveway people, right, in Dallas, Texas. I'll tell that person, okay, now you got 40 businesses to say yes to you that they're going to accept a free lead, right? You're going to have some leads that are starting to come in. So what I want you to do is I want you to go call 10 businesses in Houston, Texas, outside of the area that you're prospecting in. And I want you to call them as if you need a driveway. Call them up and say, hey, I need a driveway, and just let them talk. And then what I want you to do is I want you to figure out the questions that they're asking the people that call them, the people that call into them, and I want you to write all of them down. Then what I have them do is I have them do Facebook ads like you were talking about. I'm not going to go into how to do that, but I have them do Facebook ads, and then I have them take the leads information. And they take down how long is the driveway, when was it done last, and whatever the questions those other people were asking, I have them ask it. Then I have them call the prospect, and I have them say, hey, I have a lead for you. Here's the length of the driveway. Here's the last time it's done. Here's what's laid down now on the driveway. It's gravel, whatever. And I give the person all the information, and then that's it. Okay. And the only reason why I do that is because I believe it helps them learn who their prospects are more. And if they learn more about the prospect, they're easier to target and profile, like I was talking about before. The easiest way to do it, though, if you don't want to do any of that stuff, the easiest way to do it, and the way that I do it, is just use call forwarding. We could track every single call that comes in. We could track where it's forwarded to. We know who answers, how long they've been on the phone. We can even record them if we want to. And that's the easiest way to do it, right? Just set up call forward tracking numbers and just forward them away.
Yeah, okay. So, but in that case, though, do you actually have to speak to your prospect and say that, hey, I'm about to send you one or two, whatever it is? Then you go and set up the Facebook ads and start sending a call forwarding.
No. The way that I do is I set up the call tracking number. I do a pay-per-call, click to call ad on Facebook, right? And then, not to get too deep into Facebook, because I'll get into that in a couple minutes, but I'll do one ad, see how it works. If it gets approved, it's approved, and then I duplicate the crap out of it, split test the hell out of it, and just have 10 different ads doing the same thing, basically. And I start pumping leads to that person, and then all those calls are tracked. So I'm going to call that guy up in 3 days, and I'm going to say, yeah, Jenny called you at 3:15 last night. How'd it work out?
Oh, okay. Because I'm not really.
I know what's going on because I can listen to it.
Okay, I'm not really familiar with this call tracking system. So can they actually tell you who called it, your prospect and stuff like that?
Well, it depends on what you use. We use Callfire, and we use for our what the hell is it called? Our auto dialer is 5.9, and Callfire is our tracking. So we can record everything that comes in or goes out. We can record everything. So.
Oh, right. So you listen to the recorded.
Right. So I put a Facebook ad up, and I'm like, oh, call came in. click the button, listen to it. I know who it went to because the number's there, and I know what the name of the person is, how it went on the telephone call.
Oh, right.
So the next day I call the person up and I say, hey, you spoke to Adam at 4:00 and he booked an appointment with you for next Tuesday or whatever. How'd it go? Like, I'll call the guy and I know all the information already.
Oh, that was actually coming from me. That's what you have to say, right? So.
Right. That's the easiest way to do it. I don't like the whisper function.
Right.
And that's more for their side of it because I have dealt with that before. And when you hear the beep go off in your ear and you're ready to get into your pitch and you hear this lead is coming from Joe and whatever, it just messes up your flow. So it's going to screw them up. That's why I don't do it.
Okay. But I think that sounds simple enough. Yeah, I might just give it a shot.
Yeah, that's the way you do it. And with the Facebook ads, you got a question about that too, right? Like, how do you do the Facebook? Do you know anything about Facebook ads at all or no?
Yes, I have done, what do you call it, this promoting within your local area thing. And also, I haven't done click to call thing yet.
Right.
I used to mess with it a little bit. So I kind of know how it works. But they haven't done it for the last 4 months or 5 months.
Okay, so it's going to be a little bit different since you haven't done it in the last 4 or 5 months because there's been a lot of changes.
Oh, okay.
Have you been in the ads manager at all in the past 4 or 5 months?
Not really. I've been kind of off that Facebook.
Okay, so the biggest change that they did, that I noticed anyway, is that you remember like page likes campaigns?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah.
They're pretty much gone. So
okay.
Yeah, that was a huge change. They have engagement ads now. And if you post an ad in the engagement thing, like if the campaign is engagement, right, it defaults to post engagement. So it's like a boosted post. So I don't know a whole big long story about this, but I spent like $150. I was trying to get likes to a page and it was getting likes to a post. And I spent a whole bunch of money on it. I didn't know. So you have to go to engagements and you have to go down and select page likes. But it's different now is what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay.
So they have local awareness ads now. On the left-hand side of the ads manager, you see 3 of them. It's local awareness, reach, and something else. So
that's actually what I used to use for my SEO consultancy.
Right. So pay-per-call, the way that I do it, depending on the industry that I'm working in, if it's, like your instance, if it's someone that can deal with like only 10 miles of service area, you just set, what I do is I drop a pin on their address.
Yeah.
And then I just do 10 miles out from their address. That's the way that I do it. And then what I'll do is pretty basic. That's going to be the ad set. Like that's going to be the targeting. And then I'll target based on what they do. So if it's a driveway guy, like homeowners, 150 grand a year income, like that's targeting is pretty basic. I'd probably understand that.
Right, okay. I guess I have a bit of a doubt.
When I get down to the ad level, I do one ad with the phone number in it, the tracking number. Once that ad gets approved, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it is, once that gets approved, I just start duplicating over and over and over again. I get like 10 different ads, change the headline, change the text, change all the stuff, watch it for the 48 hours, shut off the ones that aren't working, let the ones that are run.
Okay, cool. I guess I have a bit of a doubt on that because when I was running it for my own business, the local awareness type of deal, I got a lot of impressions, obviously, for the specific type of platform, and but I ended up not really getting any calls or nothing. Maybe my ad sucked, I don't know, but I think I tried probably close to 40, 50 different, pictures and all that kind of thing in different copies, but still pretty much the same results. So I kind of gave up on that, to be honest. But I guess when it comes to like a local business, like, roofers and plumbers and stuff, I guess that would be a different story. Don't you think?
Right. And it also depends on it. It really depends, for me anyway, on the type of ad that you're running. See, what a lot of people, like if you were to do a roofer ad, just take a guess. I know it's kind of hard, but like, what do you think the ad would say? Just off the top of your head.
I would say,
So let me just, before you say it, let me just stop you. And if I'm wrong, you can tell me. You would say something along the lines of free roof estimates in this area, call now to get one, or something like that.
I wouldn't say free estimates because that's what everybody else is doing. So it's no standout.
Okay, so then what would the ad say, just off the top of your head?
Oh, I would say, if you need your roof fixed within the next 10 days, I'll give you, say, 10% discount. Just give me a call type of thing.
Right. My ad in that industry is going to say, the one thing that nobody else knows that can save $5,000 on your next roofing job, or the one thing that nobody else knows that will add 15 years to the life of your roof, or the 3-step process you could do right now to save $50,000 a year on your home heating costs, or something like that. What I try to do is capture every single homeowner in the area.
Okay.
That's my job. Okay. I want to get every home, because remember, I'm not trying to close deals. I'm trying to go from cold to warm. Who's the cold audience? It's
Right.
the homeowners. It's not people who need roofs. Those are people who are buying now. I'm trying to go from cold to warm for that roofer. So I'm going to get every homeowner in the area just to know who they are. Then I'll
Okay.
work the process. Once they raise their hand and say, yeah, I want something to do with roofs. Once they
Right.
raise their hand, then I'll work them through the process.
Okay.
And
So,
any of you here, I know some of you here have been with me for a while. You watched some other stuff that I've done. You notice it's very similar to the divorce attorney clients that I have, right? It's not click here for a free consultation. It's the 3 things you must know before hiring a divorce attorney. Stop getting ripped off. That's the ad, right?
Mm.
Same thing, because you want to capture everybody. You don't want to filter with your ad. You want to capture everyone and filter after.
okay, but wouldn't that type of ad work for click to call?
Sure.
It would.
Why? Well, yeah. Why do you think it wouldn't? Because you're asking that.
Well, because what I'm saying is, let's say, I'm a roofer in Sydney, and I'm just looking for hot leads who need to get their roof fixed right away, right?
Right.
If the way you do it, then the calls that are coming in may not be, like the customers who are needing some urgent work done. You know what I mean? So,
Right. So we're going to go back to the numbers again.
mm,
Right. I have 40 business owners, roofers that want leads. Are every one of them going to be, oh shit, I got a hole in my roof? There's, whatever. No, probably most of them are going to be. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are. Right. But if I could just capture everybody and send them to all these different people, sure, I'm going to piss some people off that own roofing companies. I don't care. 1 or 2 of them are going to buy. Those 1 or 2 people that buy from those 1 or 2 prospects are going to end up being my clients.
okay. Right.
So it doesn't matter. As long as I get their phone to ring, it's fine. Now, if they're already a client, right? Because I have a lot of people that I have an advice consulting company that I run as well. I have 42 clients that pay me, and I give them advice on this stuff. Those people, I'm calling them. I'm like, listen, this is how we're doing the ad. This is how you handle the call. This is the report you're going to give them. This is the email sequence that's going into your auto response. It's a whole process, right? But for these people that I'm just trying to generate leads for, I don't tell them any of that stuff. I just write the ad, make their phone ring. And most of the time they answer the phone and they're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, this one thing. And they get hung up on. But there's going to be those 3 or 4 people that call somebody that end up doing a deal with them. And when that happens, that's when I can close the deal.
Right. Okay. And I guess in that way you can actually get more leads coming through the ads, because
Right.
you're not really looking for specific ones, right? So.
Right. You're going to get more people calling. And when you have more people calling, you have a better chance of getting someone that actually needs a roof done.
Okay, that's how you do it. I had no idea, so that's good that I asked you the question.
You should go on. I'm going to give you guys a little. See this here, the whole selling stuff, that's all basic crap. This thing is a little underground secret that I use. I'll give it to you guys. It's not that big of a deal, but go to the website. Where the hell is it now? viralnova.com. You guys go to that website, bookmark it. What it's going to be is a whole bunch of articles that basically picked up steam and they went viral and they went crazy and everybody started reading them and sharing them on Facebook and everything else. When you guys watch my Warrior Plus videos or headlines or whatever, email subject lines, that's where they come from. Because those are the ones that everybody clicks. Okay, so when I write an ad, I didn't just make up the one thing that's going to cut your electric costs by 30% that nobody else is talking about. That came from an ad that probably said the one pill that's going to shed 30 pounds off your waistline that nobody else knows about. that was put in through Taboola, that was put on the bottom of CNN that people clicked like crazy and went viral. So I'm just stealing other people's stuff, to put it, you know, bluntly, and just making it fit my offer. That's all. Like I said, guys, it's not genius. It's just I'm taking what works and I'm using it.
Kenny, did you actually put that link on the chat box, or?
I can, yeah. It's viralnova.com. And it's all stupid stuff. Like, the website is dumb. It's all about, like, you know, whatever, like stupid, like stuff you see on like TMZ and stuff. But it's not about reading the articles. It's about how these people are structuring their headlines so that they get people to click their stuff. And they're the best in the world at it. The tabloids are the best people in the world when it comes to headlines. So that's who you want to watch. And that kind of organizes it in a nice spot for you.
Yeah, I'll definitely have a look. Thank you. All right, that's it from me. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, man. All right, anyone else? If not, we'll end it there. That Viral Nova thing is pretty good. Okay, Alabama Mike. Tracking number is what I use. I have learned that accountants and lawyers do not like recording. They worry about someone hearing something they shouldn't. Well, yeah, the HIPAA laws, that's why I don't do doctors. That sounded weird. That's why I don't work with doctors in a very professional way, or dentists or anything like that, because the HIPAA laws are too crazy. The attorneys I don't have a problem with. And again, it really depends. That question is, it depends on what state you're in. I'm in New York. New York's a one-party state. We're a shitty state, but we're also a one-party state, which means that I can record anybody I want because I give authorization to record the call. So it depends on what state you're in. If you're in a state that has a two-party type deal where both people have to agree to it, then you're screwed. But the one good thing about New York, besides the beaches, is that we can record phone calls without the other side knowing. There's a lot of states like that. How would you target people on Facebook to find folks who might need a new roof? Any tricks, you know? Yeah, I just went through that. That's okay, though. What's the URL for our training site? Raymond, I honestly have no clue what that is. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to answer that for you. The best thing that I could tell you is email Lee, and he will give you that information, because I don't even know the URL to the training site. And I've never been to it. I've never seen it before. So I'm sure it's beautiful because Lee's people do great work, but I don't know what it is. Okay, what's this thing? Let me hang on a second. I don't know the answer to that question either, but that I can get for you. Oh man, okay, hang on. I'm opening like 12 different programs looking for this right now, and I'm getting a little frustrated. Hang on a second. Close all of that. I think I just shut my freaking screen off. Well, I guess you guys really don't need to see that anymore anyway. Okay, I'm going to put the email address in the thing so that you guys can have it if you need. To write him. And oh my God, I lost the damn chat box again. There it is. Oh, Alabama Mike just posted it for you. Well, anyway, just in case you need it, that's the support email for Raymond if you need it there. Yeah, I don't really get involved with that stuff. I just, you know, that's why I don't really like launching products by myself, because I hate doing the website stuff. I hate answering support emails. Are the freaking worst. Like, even if it's from you guys, like, I just don't like, I know I wrote Mitch back like a big long thing where I answered every single one of his questions. That's fine, because he has some detailed questions that he wanted answered. But some people are like, you know, they just write an email like, you know, what happens if I can't find a business that wants to take a free lead? Like, how am I supposed to answer? Like, what am I supposed to write that person? I don't know, man. Just go work at Jiffy Lube or something. I don't know what to tell you. And I get so frustrated with it that I can't even do it. So, all right. If anyone else has any questions or whatever, you want to say anything, then you can come on. If not, then we can just end it there. And oh wow, 2017, 2018 sled hockey grant applications are being accepted. Cool. I don't even know what that means. It just came in my email. All right, so if you guys have any other questions or whatever, you can shout them out. If not, we'll end it there. And the replay will be up tomorrow. Okay, Raymond, you didn't get his email because I sent it to Alabama Mike by accident. And I thought I was sending it to everyone. There you go. Huh, that's interesting. All right, anyone else have anything for me tonight, or are we good? Okay, Mitch. No problem, Cindy. All right, Mitch, if you have something else, just unmute yourself, or if you want to just type it in, you can. But if you want to unmute yourself, just unmute yourself. No problem, Raymond. If you need anything, just let us know. I know you might be a little behind, but that's fine. What about the propaganda sequence? So you should have gotten the first part. Let me think. Should have got the second part last week, right? We talked about the thread email last week after Justin was done. Still have no idea what he did. Still. And I talked to the guy like since then. I still don't know what the hell he was talking about. But I don't know that stuff. But you should have got the thread email last week, right? We went over that. And also you should have gotten the proof stuff that we went over with the posting of the ad on Upwork. We went over that 2 weeks ago. So I showed you guys how to do it. And I also showed you the email that I send out with the proof images attached to it. So if you're having trouble finding that or whatever, then just write the support email. Or you can just, if you want, Mitch, I mean, we've been talking through email a little bit. So if you want to just write me an email tonight, like right now, if you want, I'll just attach those two to the email and send them off to you so that you have them if you can't find them. When do you use it? When you use the propaganda sequence when in this industry, it's tricky. It depends on how the calls go. So for example, you could use it if you wanted to between the time you say, I'm going to send you the lead, right? The first contact, that cold call, you could send a propaganda sequence between then and when you send the lead if you wanted to, or actually I should say or you could send another propaganda sequence in between the time you call them with the lead the first time and you say, hey, here's the lead, right? And the time you actually call them back and say, how did it go? So there's 3 calls that are being made, right? There's the hand raising call. There's the, hey, I got the lead for you call. Remember me, right? Then there's the how'd the lead go, let's buy it call. You could send the propaganda sequence in between either one of those or both of those if you wanted to. Will next week be more about how we get leads for the clients? Next week was going to be about outsourcing, but you guys, if you want to do more about how you get the leads to the clients, we can. It's honestly going to bore the crap out of you because all I'm going to do is tell you to post Facebook ads. You know, I can show you how to do it, but to be honest with you, Mike, I don't want to take up a whole week just doing that. What I would rather do, and I could do very easily, if you guys want it, you could type in the chat box and I'll gladly do it for you. What I would rather do is just do a 20-minute video on how I post my Facebook ads and then let you guys watch me do it on that. And you could do it on your own time. And then if you have any questions, you could just ask in the thing. You know, you can ask here on the thing. Okay, so I'll do that for, I actually have a video already, but I'll do that for you guys. And then next week you can ask questions about it because I really wanted to, and Lee wanted to too. We wanted to get into outsourcing so that you guys can, you know, start getting a lot of this stuff done for you. I hate saying that whole done for you crap because it's mostly a lie, but whatever, it's okay. All right, I want to show you guys one more thing really quick and then I'm going to stop doing this because I'm getting bored. That sounds horrible, but it's true. Okay, so I want to show you guys one more thing, and then we'll end it there unless you guys have more questions. All right, how do I share this again? Who can, yeah, I want to share. Yes, why is this giving me problems? All right, can you guys see my slideshow thing here? Just type yes if you can see that, because I got all sorts of boxes popping up here and everything. It's embarrassing. Okay, cool. Okay, so just to cover myself, because this is recorded. Whoops. Okay, I guess we're in this now. Hold on a second. Okay. My God, this is frustrating. Sorry. I'm almost there. Okay. So just to cover myself, because I know this is recorded, I am not telling you to do this at all. Okay. But it works really well. So there you go. And it cuts out a lot. It cuts out a lot of the stuff that you got to do. It's a lot easier, and it cuts out like 90% of the work. But I'm not telling you should do this for the recording, in case the FBI is tapping my thing. Just kidding. Okay, so look at this script. Okay, this is how I made a living in the stock business for 7 years. Look at the script. Not sure if you quite remember me, but we spoke a while back, and I told you that I had an idea I was trying to put together. At that time, I didn't know if I was going to do it or not, but basically, it revolved around me sending you a customer for your garage door business. Okay, look at the words that I'm saying. Think about this. I called a garage door company 4 weeks ago, and I said to them, hey, my name is Kenny. The reason for the call is I had this crazy idea. I don't know if I could do it or not, but I wanted to send you a lead. You know, if I can get it done, would you be willing to accept the lead? Yes, bye. 15-second call. Guy's right back into work. He's doing another garage door. That guy forgets who I am by the time he hangs up the phone, right? We should agree on that, right? Do you honestly believe, does anyone in here believe that he's going to remember me when I call him back and say this to him? Just type in the chat box. If you think he's going to remember me, type yes. If you think he's not going to remember me, type no. Raymond, no. Mitch, no. Everyone else, no. Okay. Nobody else wrote anything. Okay, there you go. Dave, no. Cindy, no. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to work or not, and I've never personally done this, but maybe you could try to just cold call people and say, hi, John, this is Kenny. Not sure if you quite remember me, but we spoke a while back, and I told you I had an idea. I don't know. I never tried it, so I'm not telling you to do it because it's actually technically lying to people. I'm not saying that when I sold stock, all I did was call people and say, I don't know if you quite remember me, but I sent you out a press packet about 2 weeks ago about myself and my firm, and I told you at that time that I'd call you with one idea and one idea only. Here it is, grab a pen. I'm not saying I did that to people that I never spoke to before, that I never sent press packets to. I'm not saying that I cold call people and say, not sure if you quite remember me, but we spoke a while back and I told you at that time I'd have an idea and I have, you know, to send you a lead. I'm not saying I do that. I'm not saying it works. I'm just saying you might want to try it. Because we all agree that they're not going to remember you, right? We agree they're not going to remember you. So if you wanted to give it a shot by cold calling people with this, as opposed to cold calling people with the other one, you can do that. I still suggest to all of you, though, that you do cold call people with the other one, because if you wanted to try this and do a mixture of both, that's fine. I do suggest that you still cold call people with the other one because you want to see if the market is there for your services. That's the whole point of it. Right? If there's 3 roofers in town, you don't want to do it. If they all say no to you, you don't want to do it. So it's giving you a little bit of leeway to see if there's even room for what you're trying to do. Okay. On the other hand, if you're calling lawyers in Manhattan, there's room, right? Alabama Mike's deal, he may want to test it out a little. He's got a little bit of a weird deal. It's a great industry, and he's going to make a lot of money with it if he sticks with it. But he needs to make sure it's going to fit in. Right? And there's a little bit of tricky stuff going on there because people are coming from out of state and everything else. But if you're doing a roofer in Los Angeles, you don't really have to test it out much. There's a lot of roofers out in Los Angeles. Okay. You can start right now and you can call Los Angeles roofers and you could say, not sure if you quite remember me, but we talked about a month ago and I told you at that time that I was working on something. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. But basically, it revolved around me sending you a customer for your roofing business. I have one. Grab a pen. They're not going to remember who you are anyway. So you might as well just start from here. Okay. All right. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can let me know right now. And if you do in the next 30 seconds before I stop this, then you'll get an answer. If not, you can write me an email, or you can email the support people. I don't even know who they are, but you can write them as well. All right. So anyone have any last minute questions or anything like that? Or are we good? Okay, that's it. You're welcome, Alabama Mike. You're welcome, everybody else. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a great week. If you have any questions or anything in between now and the next one, you can write us an email.